Most authors are not struggling because they are doing too little. They are struggling because they are doing too much. One sentence I hear almost weekly from authors is this: I am doing everything and my book sales are still flat. They have ads running, they post on social media every day, they've joined promo groups, they have 3, 5, sometimes even 10 books or more out, and yet the sales barely move. At that point, it feels like they're shouting into the void. So today I want to talk about what is actually happening when authors feel like they are doing everything and nothing is working. Because the issue is usually not effort, the issue is structure. And once you see the structural problem, the solution becomes much more clearer. Most authors have accidentally built a marketing activity list, not a marketing system. So an activity list looks like this. You post on Instagram, you run Facebook ads, you join a book funnel promo, you write newsletters, you share in Facebook groups, you post on TikTok. Does it sound familiar? Every one of those things can work. They're all great tactics. But when they are not connected to each other, they behave like separate little tactics instead of a complete thing. When they are separate like that, they don't compound. And that's where sales start to stall. When I look at author businesses, most sales instability falls into one of 5 patterns. There's a visibility gap, a reader capture gap, a conversion gap, a momentum gap, or a systems gap. And the reason authors feel like they are doing everything is because they are trying to fix those gaps with random activity instead of structure. So let me give you a few examples. Example 1, visibility without a destination. A lot of authors are very visible. They post reels, they share quotes, they talk about writing life, but there's no clear next step for the reader. Imagine a reader sees your post, likes your content, and thinks your book sounds interesting. What happens next? If the only path is to go and search for my book somewhere online, most people will not do it. It's getting harder to put links with books now because a lot of social channels will actually not show that post or make sure it's so well hidden that nobody gets to see it anyway. And this is where a simple tactic can change everything. Instead of asking readers to go look for your books, create a single discovery point on your website. So build a page on your website called something like Start Here, or My Best Book to Read First, or create one page for each of your books. Then when you talk about your books online, you always point readers to that one page. That page introduces your world, it shows your most popular book, it invites them to join your reader list, and it makes the next step obvious. Suddenly, your visibility is no longer floating in space, it has a destination. Example number 2, readers discover you and then disappear. Another pattern I see often is what I call reader leakage. Readers discover an author once, read one book, they enjoy it, and then disappear. Not because they did not like the book, but because there was no clear bridge to the next one. So here is a tactic that's becoming more powerful right now. Create a reader journey page. Instead of listing your books in order of publication, as we do, guide readers based on what they enjoy. So an example here would be, if you like slow burn romance, start here. If you enjoy action-adventure stories, read this first. If you want the complete series experience, begin with book 1. This sounds simple, but psychologically it changes how readers move through your catalogue. You are guiding their experience instead of hoping they figure it out for themselves. The easier you make that reader journey, the higher your read-through becomes. And read-through is where a huge amount of author income actually comes from. Example 3 is the social media trap. Many authors are pouring an enormous energy into social media, and social media can absolutely help people discover you, but social media platforms are not designed to help readers build long-term relationships with you. They're designed to keep attention moving. That means even readers who love your content may never see your new post. So here is the tactic I am encouraging authors to experiment with. Create interactive experiences that live on your website. So here's an example. What character would you fall for quiz if you write romance stories? Which book in my world would you start with quiz? Or even a simple story-based decision game. Readers love interactive content. And when those experiences live on your own website, you are bringing readers into your ecosystem rather than borrowing someone else's platform. This actually creates a much stronger long-term connection between you and your readers, as well as getting readers to your website. Here's example 4, books that do not compound. So another hidden issue happens when books are marketed as isolated products instead of a connected experience. So an example here might be a reader might discover your book 4 in a catalogue. But if the series connection is not obvious, they may read that one book and then move on. Humans are wired to be visual. We love to see pictures and images. So anytime you can use visuals to display your work, do it. One tactic that works really well is creating a simple story world map. So this could be a visual or a simple page that shows how your books connect, but you're doing it in a visual connection instead of text. So you're going to show how Series 1 connects with Series 2, or how these characters appear again in this story over here, or this timeline overlaps in a book over here. Readers love seeing how it all works together and how the fiction universe fits together. When they see the bigger picture, they often want to explore more of it. And it's that curiosity that drives additional sales. Example 5 is our systems gap. So the final issue I see often is that authors are making every marketing decision from scratch. One week they'll try ads, they don't work. Next week, so they're going to try a promo. The week after that, they may then experiment with social media again. They find that it sucks, so they're going to go and do something else. It feels like a lot of work, but nothing is actually building on itself. Instead of asking, what should I try next? Start asking a different question. And this is the question to ask yourself. What is the repeatable path that turns a stranger into a reader? Now, the answer to that is going to be different for every author, for every reader, for every genre, for every trope. Each will have something which is unique to you and your stories. But once you can define that path, your marketing becomes far simpler. A typical path might look like this. A reader discovers you through a video or a post. They visit your Start Here page on your website. They download your free book. They join your reader list. They move into your series. That is what we call a system. Every piece supports the one before it and the one that comes after it. And this is how we can get our systems to compound. So why does this matter? The reason many authors feel exhausted by marketing is not because marketing itself is exhausting. It's because they're trying to operate without a structure that supports their effort. When structure is missing, every action feels temporary. You are constantly starting again. When a structure exists or when you have a system in place, every action strengthens the previous one as well as the one that comes after it. Your marketing compounds, your readers return, your business becomes steadier, and most importantly, you spend more time writing the stories you actually care about. If you're listening to this and thinking, yes, this sounds familiar, the next step is not to try 10 more marketing tactics, okay? The next step is to identify which structural gap is actually affecting your sales. Because sales instability is rarely random. It almost always follows one of 5 patterns. If you would like to see which of the 5 sales patterns might be leaking in your author business, take the short audit linked below. It takes about 15 minutes and it's going to show you where your system needs strengthening first. So take the audit and then discover what you need to work on first. Building a sustainable author career is not about doing more marketing. It's about building a system where your books, your readers, and your visibility support each other over time. Once that system exists, the work you are already doing starts to compound. And that is when book sales begin to feel much more stable.